Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 habits of successful students. Before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. From improved organization to finding the right study space, the habits of successful students can be learned by anyone with a little practice. Successful students in school tend to stick to certain habits that help them achieve their academic goals. Truth be told, any student looking to boost their academic performance can find these school success tips helpful on giving them an upper hand in the classroom. Top 10 habits of successful students. Knowing how to be successful in school begins with learning from the students. So what are the habits of successful students? Number 10. Stay organized. Successful students come to class with their materials organized. It's a good idea to have different notebooks for each subject and always keep extra pencils, pens and highlighters. If something isn't needed in your backpack, take it out. Disorganized students are known to keep old crumpled assignments in their backpacks, so make sure to clean out your school bag periodically. Good organization is a common successful student habit, so keep those lockers clean and easy to access. To stay organized, create a to-do list. To-do lists are a bit different than agendas and are more appropriate for individual projects or assignments. If you have a large project coming up, a to-do list can help you plan. A to-do list can help you plan out the steps needed to complete your final goal. For example, let's say a student has a science project with a presentation coming up. A good start to a to-do list might look like: Number 9. Have an agenda. Successful students tend to plan out their assignments well in advance, especially for long-term projects. Seeing an agenda book or planner is a popular habit of successful students, as it ensures assignments and homework aren't forgotten about. In addition, teachers nearly always provide a syllabus at the beginning of the school year. If you know a large research paper will be due in 2 months' time, don't deliberate. Successful students will plan out the process, research outlines, note-taking, outlines, drafts well in advance. As we always say, it's better to avoid procrastination and space out the work into smaller chunks. Many students believe they can mentally jot down their assignments throughout day to be recalled later. The fact is, this approach simply doesn't work. Even in lower grade levels, students are expected to complete homework in multiple subjects. High school students may have up to 7 classes a day. It's just not realistic to try to remember a long list of due dates. Write down important assignments, projects and upcoming exams in an agenda to ensure you're always on top of your work and prioritizing appropriately. Number 8. Actively participate in class. Raise your hand, volunteer and ask questions. Not only do teachers love students who participate, but these students also retain more information and will eventually better understand the material. Ultimately, these same students will develop a more positive outlook towards education by actively taking part in the learning process. If your student is shy, speak with your teacher about this and discuss ways in which to encourage participation. Teachers can ensure that shy students are seated at the front of the class so that they are more visible. Shy students may need a little longer to feel confident enough to answer questions or participate, and teachers who understand this can be more accommodating. An in-home and online tutor can work with your student one-to-one in an encouraging and safe environment. As your student fills in the gaps in their knowledge, their confidence will grow. When they understand what is happening in class, they will feel confident enough to ask questions and participate in activities. Number 7. Don't be a perfectionist. Speaking of the learning process, highly driven students sometimes forget the second word. In this phrase process, nobody is expected to be perfect at something their first try. Furthermore, habits of successful students include knowing when it's time for them to reach out for help rather than frustrating themselves further. As we've said before, teachers do not expect perfection in most areas of a class. Homework is meant to improve a student's skills, and making mistakes is perfectly okay. Some students' anxiety takes its toll mentally, but it is also manifested in physical symptoms. Anxiety may cause your child to suffer from stomach aches and headaches, have difficulty falling asleep, or become overly emotional. Luckily, there are many strategies for helping your children to cope with stress. Number 6. Use additional study resources. As we mentioned, successful students know when to ask for assistance. If a concept isn't making sense, take advantage of study programs, complete extra credit assignments, and of course find a tutor. In addition to taking face-to-face or online tuition with an approved learning partner, you should use our additional study resources to aid your studies. When used alongside a course of study, these will provide you with the best chance of exam success. Number 5. Get a good night's sleep. Too many students go to bed late and attend classes without getting sufficient rest. Students that get their homework done early and get a good night's sleep are going to be more alert during class time. The National Sleep Foundation recommends teenagers ages 14 to 17 get 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night, with this figure even higher for younger children. Successful students will plan their schedule in a responsible way that enables them to go to bed at a reasonable time. Getting a good night's sleep is crucial for teens' development, so ensuring you're giving your brain the time it needs to recharge is another great habit of successful students. A good night's sleep is incredibly important for your health. In fact, it's just as important as eating healthy and exercising. Unfortunately, there's a lot that can interfere with natural sleep patterns. People are now sleeping less than they did in the past, and sleep quality has decreased as well. Number 4. Have a study space. As we mentioned in our last blog, a large percentage of students attempt their homework with several distractions around them, ranging from cell phones to TVs. This really isn't ideal, and successful students will know to complete their homework in a quiet area free from distractions rather than setting up at the dinner table. We recommend students find a dedicated area for homework, like a desk in their room, to help remain focused. One of the most important reasons for having the dedicated area for study is that it sharpens the mind and improves concentration. A separate study area is better than using a bedroom, kitchen, or living room. The student in a dedicated study space is much less likely to be under disturbance by other people at home. Number 3. Get involved with extracurriculars. Successful students have a positive outlook on the academic process and value education highly. These values begin when students form closer connections to the realm of learning. Whether it's joining band to learn saxophone or volunteering after school at chess club, students that participate in extracurricular activities are happier and more motivated throughout their academic careers. Forming these closely held values towards the benefits of academic programs and the opportunities they provide instills a lasting respect for education and ultimately paves the road to success. Your study space is critical to your ability to study effectively. After all, if you can't concentrate or if you are not comfortable, you certainly can't expect to learn very well. So, it's important to create a study environment that fosters productivity and minimizes distractions. Number 2. Use technology to your advantage. In today's day and age, students have access to the internet, an incredible resource that puts a vast amount of information at our fingertips. Long gone are the days of trudging to the library and thumbing through card catalogs to source a research paper. Students have access to a wealth of information online, including practice problems, instructional videos, and years of published texts. Furthermore, most schools now offer online portals, where students can access class schedules, resources, and often their grades as well. Teachers themselves frequently have their own websites with class resources and helpful links. Successful student habits include taking advantage of these resources. Technology has the ability to enhance relationships between teachers and students. When teachers effectively integrate technology into subject areas, teachers grow into roles of advisor, content expert, and coach. Technology helps make teaching and learning more meaningful and fun. Number 1. Put integrity and honesty first. When we use the term academic dishonesty, it doesn't just refer to cheating on an exam. The fact is, many students know they can find answers to assignments online, and there's always going to be a shortcut somewhere. Even if there's no risk of getting caught, successful students won't do this, because they understand it will hurt their performance in the long run. Although copying an assignment might get you out of 1 week's homework, the results will reflect on next week's exam, when the test questions aren't making any sense. Successful students understand that integrity is important, and academic success requires a large amount of individual responsibility. Having integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is looking. Upholding the academic honesty policies set forth by the university and the Bauer College. It means doing your own work even if your friend offers you help on a take-home exam. It means writing your own papers and properly citing your resources. It means taking an online quiz without the help from your textbooks or friends if the quiz is supposed to be taken that way. Also, it could mean reporting someone you suspect has cheated on an exam or other assignment. Having integrity means believing in the principles and standards of our community and making sure your behavior is consistent with those principles and standards. What do you think of our list? Do you want to become a perfect student? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.